French President Emmanuel Macron announced Thursday that he is suspending political visits to Saudi Arabia over the controversy surrounding the disappearance of U.S.-based Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, who was last seen entering the Saudi consulate in Turkey. Macron made the announcement to reporters in Brussels on Thursday, Bloomberg News reports, amid decisions from the French and Dutch finance ministers to withdraw from the 2018 Future Investment Initiative set to take place in Riyadh this month. In the current circumstances, we have decided to suspend some visits, political ones, the French president said, while adding that he would not comment on internal Saudi politics. It is not for me to comment on internal political situations of any other country, nor the psychological or security aspects in those, he added. So, this is another one of those decisions where the principle of it I like, but it comes off as grandstanding because it's like too little too late. I would prefer for most of these countries to kind of take a non-interventionist stance when it comes to how they view other regions, with the exception of if there's some real humanitarian crisis, and then okay, you can comment or try to forge a coalition around solving that. So I appreciate the idea of you're over here dismembering journalists. We don't want anything to do with you. My issue comes with the fact that, as I've stated before on this channel, Saudi Arabia, with the help of the U.S., has been responsible for the deaths of over 10,000 Yemen civilians, destroying mosques, hospitals, schools, blocking off their ports so that they can't get any food, and all these people are starving and dying of famine, the worst case of cholera in modern history. All of this stuff perpetuated by Saudi Arabia over the last 3 years. And just now they're getting punished by France. So this follows the same. If I could compare it to anything, I would say it's similar to the response to ICE. That organization was around from 2003 to now, and only last year or earlier this year, whatever that time was in the last few months, people have started becoming sick of their methods and the ways they treat families. But again, it's too little, too late, because we've already seen a whole decade of that going on, and now you're concerned. I hate that we have to have these egregious events that really don't change much. I mean, I'm not saying his life meant nothing, but in comparison with 10,000 people, I think you can see where it comes across as being grandstanding, and not looking at, actually trying to make a difference in the lives of multiple people, or feeling disgusted by the injustice of such an act, because you can see an entire population get wiped out and you remain quiet about it. And that's exactly what happened here. That you have this this prime minister who's trying to say, oh, we have to go against this system, and it's so horrible what's going on in this other country, and then still doing business with them, without concern for all those deaths I mentioned there. So it's all part of that same cycle where we ignore the plight of many and give in to the issues of a few. And that's exactly what this is a part of, and why it's frustrating to have conflicting feelings about this. It's good it happened. It should have happened way earlier. And hopefully we can actually see the same outrage being expressed by world leaders on humanitarian crises, if that's even a word, that kill thousands of people instead of one person.